Welcome to Freedom Queen Live. Welcome to Freedom Queen Live. If you are here with me live, say hello in the chat. I would love to know who you are if you're here with me live. Say hello in the chat. And today we're going to be going through probably one of the most incredible Freedom Queen Lives that has ever happened in the history of Freedom Queen Live. And I'm so excited to bring this with you, to you. Taisha's here. Say hello in the chat if you're live here with me. Inside of Freedom Queen Live today, I'm going to be talking about, do you know how much is locked inside of you? Hi, Morgan. Do you know how much is locked inside of you? I'm bringing this up today because today is a huge day inside of my programs, inside of Freedom Queen. Because in the last 2 weeks, I have witnessed the entire Freedom Queen community go like this. It's like everyone got on the crazy rocket ship and just took off. Put a yes in the chat if you feel that way as well. Hi, Carolina. Something has shifted in the last 2 weeks, and I want to ask you that question. Do you know how much is locked inside of you? Do you actually know your full potential? Do you know how actually powerful you are? Yes, feeling it. Hey, Jenna. Jenna Lee's back. And what if today was a day where you decided, I know. You know how powerful you are. You know what is locked inside of you. If you read last night's newsletter, Freedom Queen weekly updates email that we send out every Sunday and Monday, I talked about this. Unlocking a certain level of yourself that maybe you've been hiding because you're afraid you're going to be too much, or you're going to offend someone, or your clients aren't going to like you, or someone's not going to like you, or you're not even going to like you. Maybe there's been some hiding going on. I believe that we are in a season in Freedom Queen of you just unapologetically going big on everything that you want. What a potent question, Chris says. So today I'm going to announce something crazy on Freedom Queen Live, per usual. And I'm going to tell you a story. And if you're here with me watching live, make sure that you say hello in the chat so that I know who is on with me here. So back in 2021, I had just started my online coaching business. I had just kind of begun. And I would love to know, just put a year in the chat. When did you start your coaching business? I just really launched it in January of 2021. I had started signing on clients. I had done some work at the end of 2020, but January 2021 was like, okay, this is it. I'm doing this. I'm launching my business. I'm going forth. And I was making like $2,000 to $5,000 a month. And at the time, I had this, hi Pearl, I had this apartment in Brooklyn, and I was paying for rent around the world. Have you ever been in that moment where you're like, you have rent, you have loans, you have all of these things happening, debt, whatever, and you're like, back is kind of against the wall, but you also know that inside of you, there's something really powerful there. It's like, you know, you're going to make it. Put a yes in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. Like, you don't know how, you don't know when, you just know that you are really powerful. And at some point, something is going to dramatically change for you. Hi, Sherry. This is what was happening for me. I knew at some point something was going to dramatically change for me, but I just had to keep showing up. So May of April, May of 2021, I went back to New York City to sell everything that I own. And Robbie and I at the time had been really obsessed with Funnel Hacking Live. If you guys know ClickFunnels, Russell Brunson, we've been really obsessed with him. And I studied a lot of his high ticket sales process. I literally didn't do anything but study high ticket sales for months. I became obsessed with it. Have you ever been like extremely obsessed with something where you're just like, I can't stop learning? Like, this is my personality. I love learning and growing. So I studied his funnels. I studied his high ticket sales. I was like, I'm going to figure this stuff out because I have to. I have to. And I knew Robbie's birthday was coming up, and I said, I want to get us tickets for Funnel Hacking Live. And they were $997. They were $1,000 each. And at that time in my life, I looked at $1,000 investment like, whoo, that's kind of a lot. Now I look at $100,000 investment, I'm like, okay, that's feasible. But $1,000 to me at that time, I thought, okay, this is a lot of money. And I did it anyways. I bought us each a ticket. And that month was my first 10K month. There's something to say about that. And the event was in September. So come September, I hadn't even hit 100K in my business at the time. I was signing on clients, like doing 20K launches, 10K months. Things were going really well, but I was still feeling like kind of small energetically and financially. But I went to Funnel Hacking Live, and I remember pulling up to the hotel, and Robbie took our bags inside and we were going to check in. Have you ever been to one of these big conferences like this? Just put a yes in the chat, just let me know. And I walk in and my heart starts racing. My heart starts racing. It's September in Florida, so it's kind of hot. My heart starts racing. I'm sweating. I'm noticing like little hives coming up my neck, like red splotches, red pieces on my chest. And Robbie goes to check in, and I walk up to Robbie in line and I say, I need to go to the bathroom. I need to go to the bathroom. But in a very weird manner. And I go to the bathroom, and have you ever had a moment like this? I grab the sides of the sink, and I'm looking at myself in the mirror like, pull it together. What are you doing? Get it, pull it together. Bridget James, Ling, pull it together. Have you ever had a moment like this? Have you ever had a moment like this? And I start splashing water on my face. I'm like, I am Bridget James Ling. I am Bridget James Ling. I am Bridget James Ling. Taking deep breaths. I go in the bathroom stall and I'm like jumping up and down. I'm like, you can do this. You can do this. And if you're in the Make Money membership, I put a picture of me in the chat box, in the Voxer group. I go to the conference. It's incredible. And that picture was from day one. And I had a moment like this morning. We're going through up levels every day in Freedom Queen. So that was day one. I have this picture of me. I look like such a cute little nerd. I have my name tag. It says rookie on the bottom. It legitimately says rookie, which just means like you have no idea what you're doing. Okay, that's like a easy way of saying this person doesn't know what they're doing, rookie. And at this event, I was already in the middle of a launch for my old program, my OG Manifesting Freedom Academy, which if you've been an MFA, put MFA in the chat. I would love to know if you're here with me, if you've been an MFA. You're an MFA OGer. So I was in the middle of a launch for MFA. And in between sessions, I would run up to my hotel room. I would have a sales call. I would close a client, come back down. I would go in my seat and go up to Robbie and look at me like, I just signed. At that time, the program was, I think it was 33,500. Maybe 4,500. I don't remember the exact pricing, but I would go and I would be like, Robbie, I just signed a client. Oh my God. And then I would listen to the speaker and then I'd get a text, another sales call. And I would run up to my hotel room and I'd be like on the sales call, yeah, this is what you get. And here it is. And I'm so excited. And then the person would sign on and I would come back downstairs and do the same thing for the entire weekend. And in the course of this weekend, we did $35,000 in sales. While I was at this conference, Morgan was an MFA. She's an OGer. I love this story Pearl says. But something really, really crazy happened to me that weekend. It wasn't just the panic attack and I got my shit together. It wasn't the $35,000 in sales weekend. It wasn't any of that. On the last day of the event, something happens where they do this huge award ceremony and you get something called 2 Comma Club. It's an award. And everyone who wins the award, you walk across the stage. Basically what it is you're saying that you've made $1 million using ClickFunnels. And I remember sitting there with my rookie sign saying, I'm gonna do this. You guys, my name tag said rookie. And at that time, I hadn't even made 100K in my business. So I declare, I'm gonna do the 2 Comma Club. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make this happen. Put a yes in the chat if you've been like, yes, I'm gonna make this happen. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go all out. Like whatever your goal is, maybe you have one right now. I have a new goal for me. I declared it this weekend. Put a yes in the chat if you've been there. You're there right now. Then Tony Robbins comes out at the end of the event. He closes it out with a guest speaker, a VIP guest speaker. Tony mother effing Robbins comes out on stage and he makes everyone stand up. Everyone is standing up in the room and he makes you sit down by the amount of money that you're making. Now, next to me, there is this old Russian man who he's like texting half the time while Tony Robbins is talking. And I'm sitting there like, oh, how could you text while Tony Robbins is talking? And his background picture is like grandkids. So Tony makes everyone stand up. And then he makes you sit down by the amount of money you are making. So he says, if you have made 100K, if you have made more than 100K this year, sit down or stay standing. If you made less than 100K this year, sit down. Well, I hadn't made 100K, so I sit down. Okay, about 50% of the room goes down. Then he's like, if you've made less than 500K this year, sit down. Okay. More people sit down. If you've made less than $1 million this year, sit down. Now it's like just a couple, like it's not a couple, it's still a good amount because a lot of people in that room are they've built $1 million businesses or multimillionaires. Okay. If you've made 10 million or less than 10 million this year, sit down. He keeps going and going and going and going. This man sitting next to me was one of the last 3 people standing in the room. He's like standing next to me and I'm like, oh my God. Here I am judging this man for texting I didn't even know his life. After this exercise, Tony tells us to talk to the person that is next to us about our businesses. Oh yeah, this is what's happening. So I have gone through a complete transformation already. I've had a panic attack when I walked into the conference. Let me back up. I bought the tickets and was terrified, hit my first 10K month, did the event that weekend, had a panic attack, was running up and down. I looked like a crazy person, rookie, to do a sales call, come back in, do a sales call, coming back in, listen to the speakers, absorb all the information, dance and sing with Robbie. $35,000. And then the last day, I declare I am doing 2 Comma Club Award. And then God puts me next to the person in the room who's one of the richest men in the room. And I have to share my business to him. Talk about a quantum leap and a quantum up level. Talk about a weekend that changed my life forever. This man was the kindest man ever. We talked about our businesses. He did some sort of like software tech, not even like software, but like medicine. I don't even remember his whole business, honestly, because I was kind of blacking out a little bit. And at the time I was doing manifestation in business. So I'm like, I do manifestation in business for business owners. But that moment changed my life. I left that weekend a deeper version of Bridget James Lang. I remembered who the fuck I was. I want you to put your name in the chat. I do this activity a lot. Whether it's on a masterclass, Freedom Queen Live, or a training. Put your name in the chat. I want you to remember who you are. Do you know how much is locked inside of you? Moments like that weekend helped me unlock everything that was inside of me, helped me remember who Bridget James Lang is, who Jenna, Morgan, Taisha, who you are. Chelsea, Maria, hi Maria, Chris, Sarah, hi Sarah. Remember who I am. This year, I'm going to be featured on the same stage that Tony Robbins, Jenna Kutcher was there last year, Russell Brunson, all of these people, where they have been featured. I will be walking across that stage and getting that 2 Comma Club Award. What? What in the Freedom Queen land? I have chills right now. None of these things would have happened unless I took these actions. Unless I showed up. Unless I said, I am willing to go here. I am willing to invest in a place where I wasn't even there. I am willing to get in the room with a bunch of scary people who are way ahead of me, who are so far ahead of me, I'm going to get there. And then I'm going to do sales calls. And I am willing to wear the tag that says rookie. I am willing to be a rookie. I am willing to sit next to the wealthiest man in the room and pitch my business to him, which at the time, it just honestly made no sense. And I'm sure I word vomited, but I am willing to be there. Then at that event, in our seats, we booked our tickets for the next year. Literally, while we were at that event, 1 year from September 2021 to September 22, we paid for our seats for the next year. I said, I'm showing up. And less than 2 years later, walking the stage. You've got to unlock this stuff inside of you that is truly Sarah, truly Michaela, truly Maria, truly Carolina. And it will not happen by sitting and thinking about it. It will happen through moving. No matter what, I move. No matter what, I move. No matter what, I move. I want you to put in the chat, I move. M-O-V-E. I move. You are the one that moves. You are the person that shows up. You're the person that pioneers. You're the person that is the visionary. You are the person that when you say, I'm going to cry right now. When you say, Nadine says, I move. When you say, I'm going to walk that stage, you walk the stage. When you say, I'm going to start crying. When you say, I'm going to build $1 million business, you build the $1 million business. When you say, I'm going to host a conference, you host the conference. When you say, I'm going to host sold out retreats in Bali, you do it. When you say, I'm going to make $10,000 this month, you do it. When you say, I'm going to show up and blow the F up on social media, you do it. You're in this space inside of this Freedom Queen movement for a reason. I truly believe that God called you to the Freedom Queen movement because you are destined to do something extraordinary. There is a reason why our highest tier mastermind is called extraordinary, because you're destined to live an extraordinary life that doesn't make sense to anyone else. I have dropped something absolutely extraordinary. Put a yes in the chat if I can share this with you all. Put a yes in the chat if I can share this. We've already started selling tickets out for this, and I want to do this for you. Put a yes in the chat if I can share this with you all. I move, Steve says. I move, Taisha says. I move, Morgan says. I move, Carolina says. Ever since I sat in that room at FHL, in 2021, I said to myself, actually, this is where Freedom Queen was birthed, if you didn't know that. I said to myself, I've got to have something like this for the people inside of Freedom Queen. I have to have an experience like this where you can show up afraid. I'm gonna cry. This is not me, I'm just channeling God right now. Where you can show up afraid, where you can show up as a rookie, where you can be running back to your hotel room, launching and selling your face off, not knowing what you're doing, where you can sit next to someone in the room where you don't even realize you're sitting next to a multi-millionaire, whatever, where you can go and say, you know what, one day I'm going to be a speaker on that stage. So last weekend, I decided to do the scary. And we dropped Freedom Queen Live 2024 happening September in Florida, and people have already, it's over a year from today, purchased their tickets. Mind blown. They moved. They say yes. They're all in. They're 100% on board. They are willing to show up. Rookie, I'm here. I'm ready to learn. Teach me. Show me the way. I'm all in. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Last week, you all said, can you give us more details? Now I have the details. September 2024 in Florida. When you get your ticket, which by the way, they're $297, tickets will go up to $1,000 and beyond. When you purchase your ticket, you're going to get a phone call from me where we can talk about what your vision is for the next year. And I actually have some phone calls with people that have purchased their tickets right after this live, where we're going to be talking about that. Put a yes in the chat if you would like me to drop the link. Put a yes in the chat if you would like me to drop the link into the chat here. Yeah. Yes, amazing. No matter what, you move. I don't care if you're a complete rookie. I don't care if you've already made multi-millions, if you've already had 100K sales months. Throwing my credit card at the screen, let's go. Morgan, we are going to see each other in real life at Freedom Queen Live Conference. Freedom Queen Live 2024. You're sitting in the seat. By then, you've already declared another level. We're gonna have different speakers. We're gonna have performers. We're gonna be giving out awards. That weekend changed my life, which is why I go back to the conference every year. And to me, it's a no-brainer now that we're gonna be there in 2023, and I'm gonna be walking the stage. And I'm so excited to do the same for you. So if you go and buy now, send a message, go and buy your ticket, sign up now. What'll happen after that is you'll message me on Instagram, letting me know that you signed up, that you got your ticket for the event, and then we're gonna schedule a call where we're gonna be able to go through together. It'll be a phone call, go through what your vision is for the next year. Do it afraid. Be the rookie. Be willing to put yourself out there. The reason I've been able to quantum leap is because no matter what I move, no matter what, no matter how afraid I am, no matter when you're standing in front of the bathroom mirror and you're having this moment of like, am I good enough to be here? That's what I thought. I didn't think I was good enough to be there. No matter what, I was jumping on sales calls, whether people were telling me yes or they were telling me no. No matter what, taking action every single day. No matter what, creating something extraordinary. No matter what, you move. Let this be the day, before we close out here, let this be the day where you unlocked the thing that was inside of you. And you said, I'm ready to be all of me. You're ready to be all of you on social media, and how you sell, and how you speak, and how you present yourself, and how you connect with clients, and how you mentor clients, and how you send Voxer messages, and how you host lives, and how you host conferences. You are ready to be released. Freedom Queen, how are you feeling after today's Freedom Queen Live? I said today, Freedom Queen Live today, I knew was going to be one of the best Freedom Queen Lives that we've done. How are you feeling? Put it in the chat. Welcome to Freedom Queen Live. I see people are buying right now. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to Freedom Queen Live. I will see you at the conference in 2024. I just saw people are buying. Welcome, 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 welcome. Send me a message on Instagram after you buy. But I would love to know. How are you feeling? Put it in the chat. Blown the F away. Morgan, I'm continuously blown away by you. I can't even start talking about you because I'll just cry. How are you feeling? Put it in the chat. You are someone who does extraordinary things. who moves no matter what, who gets in the room, even if you don't feel like you belong there yet, who decides you're going to walk the stage, who decides you're going to get the award, whatever, who decides you're going to host the retreats, and then you do it. You don't just talk about it, you move. On fire, crying LOL. You are someone who moves. Carolina's in the conference. I never bought something so fast last week. I belong there. Yes, you do. Amen to that. Yes, you do. Freedom Queen. I highly recommend you go back and you watch this live again. You fully immerse yourself inside of this. Never forget who you are. And if you've signed up for Freedom Queen Live September of 2024, I will see you in Florida in person at our very first conference. And because you're an early bird, you get access to all of the details before anyone else. And I'm sharing, this is going to be fun. I'm going to be sharing behind the scenes of building out a conference and what this looks like. Okay, Freedom Queen. Go have the most incredible week of your life. And I will see you next Monday, right here on our YouTube channel at 11 a.m. Eastern. Same time, same place every week. Bye, everyone.